Hello and welcome to the Music Shack podcast. This is episode number 65. This week you're joined by myself, Bruce,
Ron,
and Ed.
All right, let's jump right into it. Why don't we take a look at your album first, Ron?
Yeah, so I gave you guys Varsity, which, with their record Welcome Home, which I've been anticipating for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I am very, very happy it's out now. It's pretty much just groove metalcore all the way through, with pop elements into it, like pretty much in the forefront.
Yeah,
And
I could feel it the entire way through.
it's blended so well.
Yeah, I did find it like unique that the with the pop vocals and like how well the pop vocals are done
Mm-hmm.
with the metalcore vibe. Like, so
I mean, everything's down-tuned to hell.
yeah,
And a lot of it I think is basic structure chords, but like it works, and you don't need it. In this case, it doesn't need to be flashy.
nah,
But some of those breakdowns are like they just hit really hard
and it
for no reason.
it's weird how like even though they do it throughout the album, it caught me off guard on every song.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The cleans being so pop like, and the the can't think of the term, screams ish.
Yeah, there's screams.
Yeah,
He screams.
it's being so metalcore. It's like damn.
Yeah, I love this through and through. This is probably one of my favorite releases of the month for January. It was supposed to come out a couple weeks ago, according to Loudwire, and then it didn't. So I looked and I saw that was coming out at the end of the month, and I was like, okay.
Mm.
It's like I instantly knew that this was going to be what I gave you guys once it hit. Yeah, no, this is pretty much groovecore, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of it this year.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Beartooth had some of it. Spirit Box was very heavy into groovecore with Eternal Blue, and then I think it was Volumes with Happier. That was pretty much groovecore. So I honestly think we're gonna see more of it. And I'm hoping we do, because it's very cool, and it's not something that's been around for a while. I don't think, at least it hasn't been prominent for a while, I should say. And I'm very excited to see it come back if it does, because I like groove metal.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right. Guess we can move on.
Indeed. We can move on to mine next.
Okay.
I brought you guys Circus of Doom by Battle Beast. I am in love with this album so far.
I like it instrumentally.
I can see that for some of them, yeah.
Part of my issue, I'll let you go ahead, but
I really don't have much to say. It's power metal for I really wish I could get into the genre for as much as Bruce recommends it, because I feel like an asshole every time he recommends a power metal album, because I have very little to say about it, and if I do have something to say about it, it's normally instrumentally, because like I
Yeah,
I just can't get into
It's not for everyone.
yeah.
that's usually how I am with it. Because they incorporate different signatures that a lot of other groups don't do, like the gallop.
Mm-hmm.
I only ever hear the gallop when it comes to power metal or melodic metal. I don't ever hear that in any other genre.
Yeah.
And then what I don't understand now is the more and more you give us power metal, the more I realize that for some reason every group has to have one song that is straight up just metal core with a power metal structure to it. Every group pretty much almost has done at least one track that way, where they've screamed, they've had more of a metalcore structure to it, on top of like it's still being power metal, but it feels like it's metalcore with down-tuned, like very down-tuned guitars.
Yeah, I've never noticed that.
Like a couple more blast beats and like a breakdown with screaming. I don't know why, but that's just the thing now. And I'm not necessarily against it, but at the same time, I don't want this to be the standard for that genre.
Mhm.
I don't want to see it move in that direction entirely. It's weird. Like, because I think Amaranth did it. This group has done it. Just a lot of the ones that we've heard have done it on like their newer stuff. And I just find it odd. So I don't know. But, I mean, overall, like I said, it's decent instrumentally to me anyway. But yeah, it's a genre that uses all these different weird like signatures and rhythms.
And they play perfectly in my brain.
Yeah,
I just love them too much.
maybe that's why it's your ADHD kicking in.
It could be it. That also could be why I am so heavily attached to Eurobeat.
Probably, because it goes in every which direction and somehow it loops back to the beginning of it.
Like, obviously my favorite track off of this album is the title track, Circus of Doom. I just love it so much.
Yeah, I don't
Because
think I have.
not only is it
stand
just a
out.
song they're singing, but they're also telling the story of the Circus of Doom.
And it's only a 10-song set,
Yeah.
which is weird for power metal. Well, I mean, it's like 12 or more.
The
Yeah.
shortest song is actually 3.5 minutes, though.
Yeah, the rest of them are like 5 to 6 minutes.
Which is normal for power metal.
Mhm.
Right. But it still felt kind of short.
It did.
So, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. Guess we can move on.
Sure. We'll go to Ed with Under Oath.
Yep. Yeah, I gave you guys Under Oath's new album. Voyeurist? I can't English.
I would say voyeurist.
Voyeurist.
Voyeurist. Okay. Terrible with English. Anyway. But it is my second language. First one's gibberish.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, one of my standouts was Hallelujah.
Hallelujah was good.
Yes.
Mhm.
That
I
was
like that one.
That was very good.
But I thought it was a solid album.
This is another case of like groovecore coming back
Yeah.
and being a thing. A lot of these like returning bands that have been around like the early 2000s for metalcore are coming back and doing this almost. And then you have like cases of Spirit Box, which are new. It's a newer group, but the people in it are not new to the scene. They've been around. So it's one of those things where it's like, if this is where they're gonna go when they come back from now on, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, the I actually text you before I recommended this album because like I know you're normally like the metal guy. So I'm like, let me make sure that this like I'm really enjoying this album. Let me make sure I'm not stepping on Ron's toes before recommending it because Bruce already recommended Circus of Doom, so
I had told you guys beforehand you were getting Varsity because I had to.
okay.
But yeah, no, Ghostmane features on this, by the way.
Yes.
He's on Cycle.
Yep.
Yeah, just like, I don't know. This is good.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you. Like, this is just good. It's creepy. It's groove. It's like it's the vocals are kind of feral. Like it's just good. I don't know how any other way to describe it. Like it's just creepy and weird and it's fun. So they had a live recording last year of stuff.
Okay.
That's cool. So yeah, like just go ahead and check it out. It's solid.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. But it's Under Oath. Like you can't necessarily go wrong with Under Oath either. It's like give it a shot at the very least, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I actually have a single as well that I didn't give you guys because it came out like the other day.
Okay.
It's the new Fame on Fire track.
I do have a rant that has to do with some things that came out this week.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want me to save that till after the break or before we do billboards.
We'll do it before billboards.
Okay.
Yeah, Fame on Fire dropped Plastic Heart. Oh boy. Oh my god. Where do I start? So, Fame on Fire is known to do punk mixed with metalcore. And they're most known right now for their covers of like hip-hop songs. Very popular hip-hop songs. Or pop songs. And when they started coming out with their own material, and then we got their their debut record, which was Levels, I was like, okay, this is fantastic. And I went through it, and it's great. I love it. And then they started teasing more material they were going to start dropping, and I said, okay. And then they gave us a snippet of Plastic Heart. And they're like, is this a banger? Should we drop this? Because I saw the clip on Twitter. And I heard it, and I was like, okay, you gotta drop this. And it finally dropped. And, my dude raps and screams in one verse over
damn.
metalcore instrumentals. This is straight up energy through and through. And it works fantastically together. The entire thing. It's a 3-minute song, and it doesn't stop. And I love it. I'm excited to see more of what they do. I'm hoping somewhere in this vein, because I want more of this.
Okay. Before I go on my rant, I do have an EP I wanted to mention.
Okay.
It's by Bam Bam. It's called B. It's a little 6-song album. It's K-pop, so everything's well produced. The vocals are phenomenal. No real standouts, but that's yeah, that's typical with K-pop. It's normally really solid. Sometimes there's standouts, but normally it's a good listen. But the fact that it's an EP brings me to my next my little rant. If you're gonna drop an EP, do not have skippables. I heard 3 EPs this week that all had skippables. Just drop a single at that point. Like, do not drop an EP.
Mm-hmm.
If you have skippables on your EP, just drop singles. Drop them as loosies. Put it together. Use them to tease an album. Don't.
Well, especially since EPs are meant to be like a peek as to what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, here's a bit of a taste of what we can produce. And if there's skippables on your EP, to me that doesn't bode well.
No, it's a bad. I also don't start off your album with don't have the first song of your album be album filler.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
You're better off having an intro than you are having your album start off with album filler. There was an album this week that I listened to where the intro was album filler. There is a band. I almost recommended this band. I believe they're from the Middle East. But yeah, they're fucking great. Real heavy shit. I don't know what it is. It's been cold as hell, so I've been listening to a lot of metal.
Keeps the energy going.
It really does. And it wakes you up in the morning.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really good for that. Oh, it's called Confess. And the name of the album, well, the name of the group is Confess. The name of the album is Revenge at All Cost. Curse English. The intro is weird. It's called Based on a True Story. Okay. And they just got a mess load of cuts from like news and shit. It's really weird to listen to. But yeah, it's heavy as fuck. And again, I do believe the band's from the Middle East, based off of their intro. I'm a look into it and see. But while we're doing that, we can get started on billboards.
And apparently Shinedown dropped a song this during the week as well,
Oh,
which
no
I'm
shit.
gonna have to go listen to because it's Shinedown. I've been waiting to see when they would drop something else after, I forget the song name, but after the most recent song, I was waiting for when they would drop something else. And Ghost came out with another song called "Call Me Little Sunshine." This and Hunter's Moon are great, so that album's gonna be great. The album is called Impera, and I'm very excited. So that doesn't come out until March, so we get a little bit.
All right.
We will move into our break, and we'll come back with.
I thought we were gonna do billboards before then.
We can.
All right, but you see.
I could start us off with a Hot 100.
Oh, so I do have information on Confess. Sorry.
Okay.
So apparently they're a Iranian heavy metal band. And they're known for facing charges in Iran for their music,
I wonder why.
which expresses anti-religious and anti-government views.
Anarchy.
So
I have no idea why their government would not like them right now.
Yeah, gee.
Well-
I wonder why.
one of the news cuts in the I didn't know that they were facing charges. So that's literally what that was about.
Yeah,
that was the because they were saying this band's facing charges for their anti-religious views, and I'm like, okay, this sounds far-fetched, but apparently it's facts. All right,
I may have to go listen to this at some point.
yeah.
I'm curious.
It's heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked it. If Under Oath didn't have such a good album, you would have got that.
Okay.
You would have got Confessed.
All right, well, I'm definitely going through this.
Yeah. It was going to be a heavy week. Even though I really enjoyed Bam Bam's album, well, EP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Pretty much, if Under Oath wasn't as good, it would have been Confessed. And if Confessed wasn't all that good,
It would have been Bam Bam.
it would have been Bam Bam.
Oh, wow. All right.
Quite a drift there.
A little bit.
Under Oath was lighter than Confess's album.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So yeah, we'll swing into the Billboard charts, and then we'll go to break.
all right.
I could start us off with the Billboard Hot 100. Sitting at number 1, we got Easy on Me by Adele. Sitting at number 2, we got We Don't Talk About Bruno by Carolina Gayton, Mauro Castillo, Odessa, Renzi Feliz, and Diane Guarin. At 3, we've got Glass Animals with Heat Waves.
Still love that song.
So good. At 4, we've got Stay by the Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber. At 5, we've got Super Gremlin by Kodak Black.
Super Gremlin.
At 6, we got Shivers by Ed Sheeran. 7, we've got Pusha P by Gunna and Future featuring Young Thug. At number 8, we got ABCDEFU by Gale. At 9, we got Cold Heart PNAU remix by Elton John and Dua Lipa. And at 10, we've got Surface Pressure by Jessica Darrow.
All right. So next up, there's the Billboard 200 chart. Back to number 1 is the Encanto soundtrack. Down to 2 is Gunna with DS Forever. Down to 3 is The Weeknd with Dawn FM. Adele stayed at 4 with 30. Morgan Wallen stayed at 5 with a double album. The Lumineers has a new entry at number 6 with Brightside. The Weeknd is also down to 7 with The Highlights. Drake stayed at 8 with Certified Lover Boy. Olivia Rodrigo went to 9 with Sour, and Doja Cat went to 10 with Planet Her. Which means Taylor Swift is out of the top 10.
Damn. All right. So for the Billboard Artist 100, the top 10 starts off with The Weeknd, still at number 1. Adele's up from 3 to 2. Ed Sheeran's up 1 as well, from 4th to 3rd. Gunna is down 2 spots to 4th. Doja Cat is up 1 spot to 5th. Taylor Swift is down 1 spot to 6th. The Lumineers are up. I'm not even going to attempt the math.
Where'd they come from?
98th,
What are they at now?
Oh,
7th.
Wow, so they went up a whole 91.
damn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a small jump.
Yeah, it is.
We normally see see bigger jumps than that, but shout out to the Lumineers, okay? They did put out an album this week. I didn't check it out,
Yeah, it's called The Bright Side.
so I might go back and listen to it if it made them jump 91 spots.
Yeah, really.
I might have to go listen to this. Drake is up 3 spots to 8th. Olivia Rodrigo is down 2 spots to 9th. And Morgan Wallen is down 2 spots to 10th. And that ends Billboard. We will be moving into our break.
Looking to start a podcast? Buzzsprout makes it really easy. Get your show listed on every major podcast platform with little hassle. You will join over 100,000 other podcasters already using Buzzsprout. You'll get a really good website with audio widgets you can use on other websites, tools to help you promote your show, detailed analytics, and more. Follow the link to get started. It'll let Buzzsprout know that we sent you. If you sign up for a paid plan, you'll get a $20 Amazon gift card, and you'll be directly supporting us here at Music Shack Pod. Buzzsprout, the easiest way to get a podcast out there.
All right, we're back. We're going to talk about our what genre we've been going to the most in January. Our what seems to be our go-to artist for January and for this January, and our favorite album that's been released in January 2022. So, where we at?
All right.
Honestly, I've been all over the place. I think my most listened single this month, at least, has been Zombified by Falling in Reverse. Just because I love that song. I have been listening to the Ziggurats EP from Mike Shinoda.
Okay.
I came out last year, but I've been going to that a lot. As for what's come out this month, I think the thing I've played the most has been Elegy by Shadow of Intent.
All right. I've been listening to a ton of metalcore this month, mainly Architects.
That's never a surprise.
I know. One of the singles I've been listening to a fuck ton is Lorna Shore's King of Deception. I'd say my go-to album that was released this month was Excision's Onyx. So it's been my favorite album released this month so far. Well, not so far. And right now I can say it's my favorite album dropped this year.
I don't think I have one of those just yet. But
It's January, Ron.
I know. Normally we have something by now, and I don't have anything for that yet. So
Alright.
we're getting there.
For me, my most listened to genre's got to be either power metal or symphonic metal. It's a tie between the two most of the time.
Okay.
And then favorite album is it's a very hard tie between Circus of Doom and Driven to Madness.
Mm.
I just love them both so much. And then what was the third thing I was supposed to talk about?
I think you covered it.
Yeah, I think you got it all.
Yeah, you,
All right.
you definitely got it all. We're gonna move on to news.
All right.
All right. we want to start off with my conspiracy theory first, or some other stuff.
Well, I know Corey Taylor and MGK still have their squabble going on. Like
Okay.
their little feud that's still happening apparently. I don't personally care. Like that's just whatever at this point. I'm looking through see if I can find anything.
All right. I know Metallica and who's the other group? Yeah, Metallica and the Black Keys are both traveling with COVID sniffing dogs on their tours.
Ah,
Okay.
pretty neat.
Yeah. I thought that was quite interesting. Oh, there was somebody who... Oh, fuck. Let me reopen it.
I'm not
This is-
seeing anything according to Loudwire that's worth bringing up.
Alright, so this is a TMZ story. Apparently a fanatic of Taylor Swift crashed their car into her New York City home.
Crashed in quotations.
Yes. So the NYPD has identified the suspect as 31-year-old Morgan Menk, who was booked for driving while intoxicated and driving while ability impaired. Law enforcement tell us the man told cops he was not going to leave the area until he met Taylor. So, this is going to sound crazy, but sometimes I feel bad for famous people. This is one of those times.
Yeah.
Because us as civilians, we don't have this issue. Nobody's going to try to drive into our home to meet us. Nobody's sending us, fucking fan mail about how they would legit kill for us. And nobody's taking shots at a president for us. I don't know if anyone knew about anyone here knew or remember learning about the assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan.
Nope.
A fan of, I forget who it was, but it was some form of actress. I believe it was an actress. He wanted to prove his love for this actress by shooting the president.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay. That's...
So there was a guy who actually shot at Ronald Reagan
Alright then.
to prove that he loved a celebrity who he had no shot with. Again, it's the craziest fans and the paparazzi is the only things that I don't wish. Like, I'd love to be a celebrity. Those two things I would hate to have to deal with. But all the money you can get from just advertising stupid products, and you don't even got to say anything. All you got to do is be like, I drink this water every day.
Yep.
And boom, money. This is my favorite soda. Money. Alright, we can move on to my conspiracy theory, or we could,
I guess let's hear your conspiracy theory.
Alright, so Kodak Black's been in the news a lot
Yes.
lately. I honestly believe it has to do with his label. I believe he has an album that's on its way out. I haven't found any information regarding said album. I checked multiple sites to see when it's supposed to drop. Haven't seen anything, but New Year's Eve, supposedly he was caught trying to break in somewhere. At a Florida Panthers game, he got caught with a woman twerking on him. And this week, he's in the news again over him claiming he stole, I forget what it is because my phone wouldn't load it up, claiming he stole something from a convenience store to prove to himself that he still had it in him.
What? Okay.
So I believe the man, I honestly believe that this is his album rollout.
Probably.
With the way he's been in the news. Like, you didn't hear anything about Kodak Black for a fucking while. Now all of a sudden, every week, there's a news story involving him. I believe it's an album rollout.
Or he's just gone off the deep end. Or both.
Getting twerked on at a hockey game sounds like it's part of a album rollout.
Yes.
Kodak Black raps about doing crimes. So there being something saying that he was involved in a B&E, and then claiming he
Stole from a convenience store.
stole from a convenience store. It all sounds like it's part of an album rollout for somebody who raps about being a criminal.
So do you think this is already written, or he's getting inspiration to write it?
I think the album's already done. I think this is part of the rollout. We're going to hear about him dropping an album probably in the next month or so. I believe next week we will get another Kodak Black news related article.
Mm-hmm.
Because the music industry has been working on different ways to do album rollouts instead of the generic way, because less people are listening to radio. So, so companies, well, the industry is trying to find different ways to get people to engage in an artist before they drop the album. And I think with Kodak having multiple things that are just off the wall and crazy is a part of the album rollout. Because the man is off the wall and crazy. So it works. You know? And like he's been to jail for multiple different things, so claiming to be a criminal, acting like a criminal. He even has a song where he raps about dressing like he still does fraud. So like yeah, he's one of those artists who is the reason why I'm getting away from hip hop.
Yeah.
Because he raps about immature shit. And I don't believe his music is helping anybody but himself make more money. But yeah, that's my conspiracy theory, is Kodak Black dropping an album and all this shit we're hearing about him has to do with the album rollout.
Well, I guess we'll probably have some sort of an eye on it then.
Yeah.
Just to see what happens.
Like I said, it's just a theory. But that was my conspiracy theory for yesterday.
Gotcha.
So I still haven't came up with one today. And I'm not sharing it on this podcast because I don't want to be the, person sharing crazy conspiracy theories. I make them up once a day, and they are just outlandish and bullshit.
Yes.
But it's probably going to be why I'm going to be a cult leader when I start having dementia.
It's funny you mentioned cults, because I was looking through my what has been released on the 28th.
Yes.
There's a name that deals with a cult or has it in the name. It's funny you bring that up.
You trying to start a cult with me?
No.
You sure?
I am very sure.
Oh, so I found out there's one song off Ammo that I do fuck with.
Just one.
Just one.
Which one?
Mantra.
That's the one that everybody fucks with, I think.
It's the only good song off the album.
Yeah.
When I found out it was off of Ammo, when I was listening to Bring Me the Horizons Essentials on Apple, I was like, fuck, there's a song off Ammo I fuck with.
It's the only good one. Anyway. Bruce, did you find anything that remotely interesting to talk about? Because I didn't.
Yes, actually.
Oh yeah, here we go.
So, I can bring up the fact of many high-profile musicians pulling their music off of Spotify for protesting against the misinformation that Joe Rogan spreads on his podcast.
Oh, I heard about this.
Mhm.
You're
The first person to do it was Neil Young, and he said he read a paper that was backed by, I think he said like 100 doctors, 200 plus doctors when he first read it. And like, because a lot of people that listen to his stuff on Spotify are like in their young 20s, very impressionable, can be thrown either way.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he needed to bring it to light to let people know. So he was like, I'm just pulling my music off. And plenty of people have followed suit with him to help show. And hopefully it'll help people realize that it is a problem.
Yeah. I remember I saw a clip on Twitter about Joe Rogan spreading misinformation and trying to deny that this one article that was written by a doctor and backed by several was not real, and that the findings weren't real related to COVID. And like, because you had someone on like talking about the vaccine and everything, and how it's, you know, it's that it's actually helping and doing all this other stuff, and can be, you know, is safe for X age of children to have. And I remember Joe Rogan was going off saying, "But what about this? What about this? What about this?" Just moving the goalpost every time.
Mm.
And the guy he had on interviewing was like saying, "Yeah, no, it's fine." And then he's like, and like showed him the proof, and he's like, "Well, I you know, but what about X thing?" So I remember seeing, you know, stuff about it. So that's interesting how they're doing that now.
Joe Rogan's always been controversial.
Yeah.
Right, and it's one thing to be
But
controversial, but it's another thing to like blatantly spread misinformation because you don't believe something.
What was Joe Rogan's saving grace? Was he would sit there and he would ask controversial questions from the standpoint of somebody interested in learning.
Well, that's not what this was.
And that exactly. With Joe Rogan taking a stance on something, that's going to be his downfall. But Joe Rogan's always been controversial. I thought he was a risky sign for Spotify when I seen it happen. And, you know, Joe Rogan finally did himself in by accident. Will he still have listeners? Yes. No matter who you are, you will have listeners. Will he have the same volume? Maybe not. With this whole anti-vax thing, he'll probably actually bring in listeners. He'll lose listeners, but he's going to bring in a different crowd of listeners.
We'll probably have a net gain of 0. Or somewhere around that.
Maybe. Now, don't get me wrong. It is always good to ask questions and question the facts that are given to you and always want to know more. But when it gets to the point where you're questioning everything and you're disregarding the facts that people are trying to give you, then it starts to become a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one of the things is he would ask, like, when he was like interested in learning about something, he would ask like borderline offensive shit while trying to learn where the person he's talking to stands. Where like Ron knows, if I don't know something about a general culture, I'm very polite in the questions I ask. So
yeah, it just from what I got out of the clip, that whole interview was not that. That was him like just disregarding all of the things that he was being shown.
Well, yeah, he's taken a hard stance against the vaccine. So that's the and that could really hurt Spotify, because the less content they have available, the harder
it is for them to make revenue off of it. The harder it is for them to have a living platform.
Yeah.
And it's just bad for their rep too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like it's just bad PR.
But I felt he was a risky signing. Seeing how much he was offered made me want to start a podcast. That's why you're hearing us idiots talk about music.
Right.
But yeah, I thought it was a risk, because I remember I watched a clip he put up on YouTube before he signed with Spotify, and I'm like, this is kind of uncomfortable. Like, again, he was asking questions from the spot of somebody who knows nothing of the culture that he's asking, but he could have figured out better ways to word the questions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I have a feeling if enough people pull their music, Spotify is going to look at this and go, okay, something has to be done about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Spotify, I don't know. One of the good things that Spotify does is their Spotify Wrapped thing, which is really cool. But yeah, no, they're gonna struggle. Anchor is owned by Spotify. So yeah, they're a free distributor for things of this nature. But yeah, little unpaid ad there.
Isn't Spotify actually the only one we're not on?
We're not
No,
on
that's
Pandora.
Pandora.
Okay, Pandora. I couldn't remember.
Because like the band names we say or the album titles we say
We're not always the best.
would not be like allowed on Pandora.
Okay, I see that.
And I'm not censoring us or editing us to where like we can't say, you know, things of that nature. Like we can't say any sexual content. So me probably saying that, you know, Kodak Black was being twerked on
Would not be okay.
may not be okay. The amount of times I say fucking shit would not be okay.
We probably couldn't even talk about half the things Ron talks about music-wise.
Yeah, the albums Ron says, no, we'd have to edit out every third word.
Anytime it would come to him saying upcoming albums, we'd have to cut it out entirely.
Yeah. If we were talking about some of White Zombie stuff with the which, by the way, I think Rob Zombie may have invented porno grind.
I don't think so.
What?
Listen to White Zombie, okay? There's a woman having orgasms, all right, in the background of almost every track. Like,
I mean, he might have been an inspiration for it.
that's what I mean. Inspiration. I worded it wrong.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I don't think he came up with it.
Because maybe someone listened to that and they're like, hey, I like this part of that song. I'm going to do something that uses that more.
Why would you? Why would someone do that?
Sperm Swamp.
But why?
But speaking of things we can't say on Pandora,
That one.
Sperm Swamp, orgasms.
We can't speak about some of the weird, obscure things that people don't talk about normally.
Yeah, we cannot talk about sex at all, which is fucking weird. According to this Pandora
Terms of service.
terms of service, but I'm sure there's things on there where people are talking about it. But yeah. All right. Where are we going before I
think
We need to go into
recent releases.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Who wants to start us off?
I can start us off actually.
I got another long one, so I'm gonna
I
go
got
last.
like a medium length list.
You actually have a list this time?
Yeah, I had one last time. Go suck a dick. Make it extra long. Alright. Recent releases as of the 28th of January. We've got Extreme Witchcraft by Eels.
Eels.
And now... Oh, damn it. Hold on a second. I clicked on
Advertisement.
something I wasn't supposed to.
Ooh. So, speaking of this this extra long dick, where is it?
It's right up your ass.
I wish it was.
Alright. And now let's turn to Page by Brent Cobb. We've got Godmother by Josephine Foster. Anais Mitchell by Anais Mitchell.
Ah, self-titled.
Self-titled.
Literally.
Yeah. The Sun is Shining Down by John Mayall. The Alien Coast by St. Paul and the Broken Bones. I love that name.
Okay.
1111 by Pine Grove. Then we got Set Sail by North Mississippi All-Stars. Then we got Motordrome by M.O. 3 Dimensions Deep by Amber Mark. The Zealot Gene by Jethro Tull. We get A Boogie by Imarhan. C91 by various artists. And it doesn't tell me who. All the Bright Coins by Simone Felice. In Free Fall by Maya Schenfeld. And that's it.
All right. Great. Hit the wrong button.
Good job.
Shh. Nobody heard me say I hit the wrong button. So, anyway. Scrolling to the top. I'm sorry
And
for
of course
the
he's not ready.
I'm never ready. All right, so NLE Choppa dropped Me versus Me. Nija dropped Don't Say I Didn't Warn You. Babyface Ray dropped Face. Pink Sweats dropped Pink Moon. Pink Panthers hate English today. Anyway, dropped To Hell With It remixes. This is an album I went through when it first dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Not too interested in hearing the remixes. That's the best I can say. Block Boy JB dropped Back to the Block. Doughboy dropped Oh Really.
Oh, really?
Kyle dropped It's Not So Bad. Can't wait to go through that album. Like, literally can't. I love his bouncy hip hop. It's I love that. Not scrolling, and I believe I'm at the end of the rainbow. Don't laugh at me. Just because I say things does not mean... Yeah, that's the end.
Okay. So, I have that released according to Loudwire, the 28th of January. This is a long list again. We have, I believe it's Agris with the Carnal Temples EP. Big Train came out with Welcome to the Planet. Big Train, yep. Burned in Effigy came out with Rex Mortem. Bye Bye Tsunami came out with an EP of the same name. So that's a self-titled EP. Celeste came out with Assassins. Cloakroom came out with Dissolution Wave. Crystal Ball came out with Krysteria. Death Cult came out with Of Soil Unearthed. Yep. Earthless came out with Night Parade of 100 Demons.
What is with the Earth vibe?
I don't know. Ectoplasma came out with Inferna Cabala.
I thought you were going to say Earth.
No.
Infernal Earth.
Inferna Cabala. Cabala, one of the two. Faster Pussycat came out with Babylon, the Electra Years, 1987 to 1992. Freaks and Clowns came out with We Set the World on Fire. Gloves Off dropped Life and Everything After.
Okay.
Grave Next Door came out with Sanctified Heathen. Harpy came out with Blutbahn. Haze Maze dropped Blinded by the Wicked. I have Jethro Tull on here as well.
Blinded by the Wicked.
It doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, it doesn't.
Kramer dropped All the Way. Lana Lane dropped Neptune Blue. The Last 10 Seconds of Life dropped a self-titled. Lawnmower Death dropped Blunt Cutters.
The album name makes sense. The album name makes sense for it being Lawnmower Death. Okay, with that makes sense. But why? Fucking why?
They're a joke metal band that came out in the 80s.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And then they fell into obscurity and died in the mid 90s and came back apparently in 2012.
They're still obscure.
But they came back in 2012 and then dropped another record in 2018, and now they have this. Malefic Throne dropped a self-titled EP. I believe this is Milquetoast or Milk Toast, but it's spelled Milque, then toast.
Yo, Milk Toast.
They dropped, I believe this is pronounced Caterwaul. Wow.
Okay.
And then The Mist from the Mountains dropped Monumental, the Temple of Twilight. Nason dropped Scars. The Quill dropped Live New Borrowed Blue. Rabid Dogs dropped Black Cowslip. Ravenous Death dropped Visions from the Netherworld. Steve Vai dropped Inviolate. Stonehouse on Fire dropped Time as a Razor. Tangent dropped a self-titled EP. Tension dropped Decay. Tox Pack dropped Swansig Tausenvolt. I believe that is pronounced that way. If not, it's completely butchered, which it probably is.
Sounds close.
Vicious Night dropped Alteration Through Possession. And then Wobbler has 3 re-releases of Rights at Dawn, Hinterland, and Afterglow.
Okay.
That is not everything that is dropped, but that is according to Loudwire, because I did find some other stuff. I had another EP that dropped.
Okay.
So yeah. Never ceases to amaze me what comes out of my genre. Never ceases to amaze me.
Ignore.
So yeah, that's gonna wrap up episode 65 of the Music Shack podcast. So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, if you're returning, and hello if you're new. Please check out the rest of what we have, if you enjoyed this episode. And follow us on Twitter, where you can find updates where we're dropping another episode each week. And, yeah, we're on all major platforms but Pandora. So, again, thank you for joining in, and enjoy the noise.
You're, as always, player, one love. Watch and rave responsibly.
Have fun, don't die.
I fucking quit!
I think he's gone Super Saiyan.
Fuck!
He's gone Super Saiyan.
Let's go Super Saiyan 2.
He's gone Super Saiyan 2. He's leveled up.
Peace.